Have you ever wondered if it's truly possible for a monk to master not just spiritual practice but also ancient earthly disciplines like Feng Shui, and could a pure heart and enlightened mind truly sense the harmony of nature better than any seasoned geomancer? Welcome back to the channel, friends. I'm your longtime host, and today I'm about to tell you a story that will shake your perception of spiritual wisdom and the mystical power of land and energy. This is a journey through time, history, and spiritual insight as we unveil an extraordinary side of one of the most revered figures in modern Buddhism, Master Xuyun. Not only a devout monk and rebuilder of temples, he also exhibited an incredible sensitivity to the natural energies of the land, placing him among the most respected geomancers, not through study, but through enlightenment. When most people hear the name Master Xuyun, they think of his legendary devotion to the Dharma, his iron resolve through hardship, and his astonishing longevity, living past 100 years. But rarely does one hear about his uncanny ability to see the hidden patterns of the earth, the energy flows between mountains and rivers, and the invisible balance that governs spiritual harmony. To him, Feng Shui wasn't about seeking fortune or avoiding disaster. It was about aligning the human spirit with the grand rhythm of the universe. In his eyes, Feng Shui was not superstition, but an extension of spiritual practice, a way to sanctify the earth itself and make it conducive to spiritual awakening. Let me take you back to the summer of 1957. On a blazing hot day in Zhejiang's Yunjushan, Master Xuyun, then well over 100 years old, suddenly announced his wish to climb to the peak of Wula Mountain. His disciples, including King Kong, Jingxing, and Chuanyin, accompanied him on the arduous climb. When they reached the summit, they were surrounded by 5 towering peaks, forming a natural lotus on the place known as the Lotus City. Most people saw a scenic view, but Master Xuyun saw something else. He stood at the heart of the wind currents, closed his eyes, and opened himself to the breath of the earth. He didn't calculate Feng Shui in the traditional sense. He sensed it. He read the landscape like a master painter reading brush strokes, interpreting the lay of the land, the curvature of the mountains, the direction of water flow, the rhythm of the wind. This was not the skill of a trained Feng Shui consultant. It was the insight of an awakened heart, one in harmony with the universe itself. But this wasn't just a symbolic experience. Master Xuyun's legacy in Feng Shui is tangible. One of the most vivid examples was his transformation of the historic Nanhua Temple. Back in 1934, when Master Xuyun took over the responsibility of reviving Nanhua Temple, the very ancestral home of the 6th Patriarch Huineng, it was in a state of ruin. Centuries of decay had destroyed its spiritual harmony. The mountain at the temple's back had been cut away. The White Tiger Mountain was broken. The front entrance sloped downward, and there were random graves scattered across the grounds. Worst of all, water flowed straight toward the temple's rear, a configuration ominously referred to as washing the back, a severe Feng Shui taboo. To most, these would be seen as unfortunate circumstances, but to Master Xuyun, they were spiritual messages from the land, and with clarity and resolve, he initiated a transformation that would reawaken the temple's spiritual energy. First, he observed the natural forces. Then, he worked with, not against the will of nature. During a stormy night, rainfall caused the river to overflow. Following the path he had predicted, the mudslides blocked the old river's path, and a new stream emerged, aligning perfectly with his vision of a protective, straight-screened river in front of the temple. It was as though the land itself obeyed his heart's intent. Next, he repositioned the temple's main gate, moved the scattered graves, widened the front plaza, and restored the protective mountain ridges, the azure dragon to the left and the white tiger to the right. He rebuilt the mountain to the rear to provide spiritual support. With every adjustment, he restored the sacred spatial harmony of the place, forming a protective four-symbol configuration that gathered wind and retained energy. This was more than aesthetics, was a revival of spiritual potential, was the reactivation of the earth sky to serve as a sanctuary for countless future generations of Dharma practitioners. The rebirth of Nanhua Temple stands today not just as a historical restoration, but as a testament to Master Xuyun's intuitive understanding of the living energy within landscapes. His alterations weren't merely practicals, they were spiritual. But he didn't stop there. 1943, he turned his attention to Yunmen Temple. What he saw was heartbreaking. The sacred relics of the founding patriarch were housed in dilapidated halls. The layout of the temple was spiritually disjointed. There was no supporting mountain at the back. The white tiger suppressed the azure dragon. There was no table mountain in front, and the temple door faced the ominous thunder god ridge. So, once again, Master Xuyun intervened not with blueprints, but with meditative insight. He redirected the gate, redesigned the temple's inner sanctum, planted Feng Shui forests to block harmful energy, and adjusted the site until the land itself began to breathe with spiritual vitality. He wasn't performing rituals, he was listening to the earth. He wasn't installing charms, he was restoring cosmic balance. The results were undeniable. Faithful practitioners returned, ceremonies resumed, the scent of incense once again rose to the heavens. All this born not from superstition, but from the convergence of wisdom, practice, and nature's order. So, what does this mean for us? Master Xuyun didn't study Feng Shui in a traditional sense. He became one with the universe through deep meditation, and that clarity of heart allowed him to perceive the secret patterns of energy and form. His actions remind us that to truly influence the world outside, we must first purify the world within. You see, a clean heart reflects clean energy. Mind in harmony with the Tao intuitively sees the way nature wants to flow. He didn't force change, he aligned with it. Imagine for a moment how different our cities, homes, and even our lives could be if we approached our surroundings not with greed or control, but with respect, humility, and the desire to harmonize. Master Xuyun teaches us that the greatest wisdom is not found in books or doctrines, but in awareness, in being still enough to listen, clear enough to perceive, and compassionate enough to serve both heaven and earth. And isn't that the real purpose of spiritual life? Not to escape the world, but to beautify it, to make every temple, every house, and every patch of earth a vessel for peace, dignity, and enlightenment. So the next time someone tells you Feng Shui is just superstition, tell them this story. Tell them about a 100-year-old monk who didn't need charts or compasses to find harmony. All he needed was a pure heart, and the earth responded. Thank you for watching this video. If you felt inspired by Master Xuyun's story or perhaps recalled a similar experience where intuition led you to make profound changes in your life or space, I'd love to hear about it. Have you ever walked into a place and just felt something wasn't right or just perfect? Have you ever rearranged your environment and suddenly noticed a shift in your energy or focus? Share your thoughts and stories in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into spiritual wisdom and untold legacies. Like, share, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a journey like this one.
Before you leave, here's something special. In Buddhism, we believe that every encounter carries a deeper meaning. Would you like to discover your true soul connection, the one written into your destiny? Take the Soulmate Test today and unveil the hidden truths of your journey. Click the link below and begin your path now.
http://soulmate. You wisdom more, come, white.